Bad boys, oh, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Nobody now kicking no back. Hey, police now searching no way. Jaime Munguia. Well, say it isn't so. Jaime Munguia fails a VADA test. There is an adverse finding. In this video, I will break it down, let you know both sides of the coin and what we know right here and now. So let me get right into it. Munguia, it came out this morning. I posted about it. He has failed a VADA test. You heard it, a VADA test. VADA informed all relevant parties on Wednesday Jaime Munguia's A sample returned an adverse analytical finding for exogenous origin of testosterone metabolites following a urine sample on May 4th when he defeated Bruno Sudace, sources told The Ring. Munguia now has 10 days to request the analysis of his B sample to find the origin of the testosterone metabolites. Munguia defeated Sudace in a super middleweight rematch after being knocked out. Wow. So let me get to his reply and then I'll give you guys my thoughts. So you see him looking like, he looked like Tong Po. Marlene good. Ha 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 ha. Right? So he's doing like the usual. And, you know, he's speaking to the public. He also has a press release. Statement from Munguia regarding the adverse finding in his anti-doping test. Press release says, throughout my boxing career, I've undergone numerous anti-doping tests. I have never tested positive. Why he spell it like that? Why he spell it like positive? Positive. I don't know. Whatever. I told you I'm the best in the business and it's not even close. I was tested twice during this training camp. Both results came back negative. Why was he only tested twice though? That's crazy. Which is why receiving this notification of an adverse finding has been a complete surprise to me. So for me, what's a surprise to me is the man said he was tested twice during training camp. That don't sound right. So that's how they doing them fights in Saudi Arabia. They only test and VADA comes out 2 times. That don't sound right. Because I know fighters who got tested multiple times before their big fight in a week, like multiple times, like 5 times in the same week at whatever time VADA show up. So that sounds sketch. So in writing this press release, you may have done more harm and created more questions than you're answering. Several experts have explained there are multiple ways contamination can occur. I am fully willing to undergo any retroactive, current, or future testing to demonstrate I've always been a clean athlete. I will not make any further comments on this matter until the process is concluded with the B sample. Jaime Munguia. I mean, whatever. The reality is, that's what everybody say. You know, you go to jail, everybody doesn't know how they ended up in jail. They didn't do it. Like, a guy accused of killing his wife, he don't know. He's blaming something else. So jail is full of people who don't know how they got there, but somehow got there. Now, I don't want to get too technical because there are some wrongful convictions, but in general, there's people who did the crime and they're still going to say, I didn't kill my wife, right? And they'll take that to the grave with them. What else needs to be addressed? The elephant in the room is Eddy Reynoso's gym is looking hot. The block is 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 looking super hot with Eddy Reynoso's gym. Just off the top of my head, Eddy Reynoso's gym has had multiple drug test fails. In fact, outside of Eddy himself in this picture, at some point, every single fighter in this picture has tested positive. Literally. Oscar Valdez with phentermine. Again, just like Munguia, he said, I don't know. I don't know how I got in my system. Maybe it was some herbal tea. Ryan Garcia last year with Osterine in the Devin Haney fight, right? And then you had Canelo, of course, before the Triple G fight with clenbuterol. But wait, there's more. So Saul Alvarez, Oscar Valdez, Ryan Garcia, but also Canelo Promotions has a fighter, Julio Cesar Martinez. He tested dirty. Luis Nitty, and now Jaime Munguia. Now, another thing that makes this look bad is this was Munguia's very first fight with Eddy Reynoso. So it's like, bro, the first time, all right, cool. Second time, third time, fourth, like, I mean, come on, bro. How many people affiliated with your gym at some point pop dirty when you got other people who've been in boxing just as long, if not longer, and they don't have nobody that really popped of any relevance, you know what I mean, before or after. So it's like, who is Eddy keeping around the gym where this seems to be an ongoing issue? And again, I said this in my caption, which is why you guys got to follow me. This looks sus for Eddy Reynoso's gym. And I posed the question, how come fighters never pop dirty in cherry-picked easy fights? What do I mean? Everybody in this picture, they popped dirty, except for Eddy Reynoso, as I mentioned, and it was all before difficult fights. For Oscar, he was about to fight in Arizona against an Olympian, Robson Conceição, if I'm not mistaken. Ryan was about to fight Devin, who had just looked very good with Regis Prograis, and Canelo arguably lost to Triple G. Hell no, guys and Max, right? And then he was getting ready for the rematch and he pops dirty. So, and it's not just this gym. This is something I noticed. Gerald Miller about to fight Anthony Joshua pops dirty. So that was like probably his biggest fight of that moment. You had Alexander Povetkin, who was about to fight Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder when he was WBC champion and he was knocking everybody out. So again, my question to you is, how come people keep popping before or after their difficult fights or in fights where they're fighting a difficult style for them? Like, it's never like, this is just someone who's never popped dirty. But let's say Danny Garcia, Rod Salka. Everybody knew Danny Garcia was going to win that fight, right? You never see Danny Garcia pop dirty for easy fights like Rod Salka. Danny Garcia has never popped dirty in general, but I'm just using it as an example of a fight that's perceived as a mismatch. Those are never the fights where you typically see the person test positive. The people are testing positive for drugs, and it's during fight camps for fights that should be difficult for that fighter. Canelo already lost to Triple G, right? In my opinion. And he was getting ready for Triple G again. Munguia, he was just about to fight the guy in a rematch, same scenario like Canelo Triple G, that just knocked him out. Only difference is Canelo didn't get knocked out. But Munguia got knocked out, and then conveniently, you got to avenge that. You're fighting in Saudi Arabia, where who knows where the regulations are and the commission and stuff like that. Now you pop dirty, but it's conveniently after a fight of a guy who laid you out. This looks, it looks horrific and it looks terrible, and boxing is just not right.